What up, guys, and welcome back to the Fate of Two Lords. This is our weekly D&D 5th edition, I guess it's a live stream campaign, since we've been live streaming every week. We'll live stream on Thursdays. I guess I gotta start saying that now since we're live streaming, even though nobody watches our stream. But anyway, a couple years ago, I asked myself, 25 years down the road of our Curse of Strahd campaign, what would happen? And this is what I came up with. So, I would like to introduce you to the players of the group. I'm joined today by my family and best friends. So, Trev, go ahead and lead us off. Who are you and who are you playing, buddy?
I am Hendrix Argenbeer, and I'm Trevor. I'm a rogue.
Human rogue.
Human rogue.
All right, next up is going to be Ty.
My name's Ty. My character is Shaunok. He is a tiefling warlock barbarian.
Just going around the horn here, Josh.
Hello, my name is Josh, and I am playing Andrew Brightsword. I am a high elf bard. Very
And
chaotic.
last, but certainly not least, AJ.
AJ, I'm playing Nikolai Velikov. Sorcerer.
Hurry up. It's not working, of course. Okay.
Smooth as fuck.
I'm just going to play the intro. We were going to have Trev do it, but it's not working, so... James, play the intro!
Belongs to you all.
Last time on D&D. Us as a group were trapped in the mists of Barovia. Last time, we discovered a new friend, Shaunok, from the future, 35 years in the future, a very hellish future that sent him back in time to help save and prevent this awful fate of Barovia. On his way back, he stumbled into Andrew, who had been pulled off into the forest by some weird demon creature that was trying to suck the soul out of his lips. After they conjoined together and decided to join together and go down the path back to the Stonebridge Hollow, they stumbled back onto the old campsite that you guys stayed at a couple days, or the night previous. Nikolai, Jahaka, and Hendrix, after you guys witnessed that weird, strange down plane with the dead body of Amelia Earhart, which, yep, that's what happened to her. We found out she crashed in Barovia, and that's why no one ever found her body. That is canon. And so after you guys left, again, you guys walked into a giant wall of mist, and when you walked through the wall of mist, Nikolai was no longer with you. You guys talked and met back up at that campfire while Shaunok, got it. Shaunok had a spit of ox meat cooking over the fire, which tantalized you guys back to the campsite. After eating some medium rare, perfectly cooked steak, you guys continued down the path and stumbled into this strange... First off, you guys stumbled into this massive raven, which attacked you and almost killed you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But you managed to defend yourself with the help of your giant sentient armor friend who really helped you guys in that fight, for sure. After
Definitely.
Ravenson flew off back towards the mountains, you guys stumbled upon this strange frog that could talk. After deciding not to pick this weird, strange talking frog up, you eventually stumbled upon a skeleton who was holding this strange black lacquered box. Hendrix quickly worked his magic with his thieves' tools and popped that beast right open first try, and out popped a giant black slod. A black slod is essentially a 10-foot tall black demon toad. Very powerful being, and long story short, you guys managed to talk with it after Shaunok blasted him with an Eldritch Blast, which had 0 effect. They decided to have a battle of wits. And to solve this battle of wits, Thought, the name of the Black Slod, decided to make it more of a game of chance and pulled out 2 chance cubes. On the chance cubes are the same even numbers of green faces and blue faces, and he handed them over to you, and that is where we ended the session, and that is where we start today's session.
All right.
I want you guys to visualize the misty forests of Barovia. Bring yourselves in the hard ground underfoot, the cold mist all around you, making the trees make strange shapes all around you off in the mist. This thick mist that surrounds you eternally in Barovia. First off, I would like to start with Nikolai. Nikolai, when you left the downed vessel, this strange vessel, you walked into the mist and noticed that you were all alone. Nikolai, I would like you to tell me one of your fondest memories as a child.
When my father used to tell me the stories of old Barovia before the days of Strahd.
Nikolai, as you approach, there is a small shack just in the middle of the woods. The path below underfoot has disappeared into crunching pine needles underfoot. And as you look around, there's nothing but white mist all around you. The occasional pine tree sticks out like a clawing hand attempting to grab you. The air around you is still and a bit cold. What do you do?
Blasted mist. Andrew! Hendrix!
Hendrix! Hendrix! Your voice echoes all around you.
Jahaka!
Ga! Ga! Ga!
Blasted mist fooling with us. Can't we just go home? To light a fire, see if I can create bonfire out to see if I can see any further ahead. I'm gonna cast it as far out as I can see in the mist.
Okay, you're just doing it like out on the ground?
Yeah.
Okay, as you do this, the fire gulfs up into flame and illuminates the side of that old shack that looks strangely familiar to you. The sides of the shack dance orange with the flickering flames and a reflection in the mirror, in the window on your side of the shack. Other than that, the mists do not recede and you don't really see anything else.
This place seems familiar. I can't quite put my finger on it. Like to approach the shack.
As you approach, you notice that this was your old house. This is the house that your father, Casimir, still lives in to this day. But this was before he became a blacksmith. Back in the days when Stonebridge was still in its infancy, all of the elves that used to live in the Svalich Woods gathered into this town to join with the free men of Barovia. It's basically this small group of humans and elves that basically came together and created a town. Because of that, they needed a blacksmith that was reliable and, good with their metals and very knowledgeable, and your father stepped up. Because of this, he built an addition to the side of your guys' house and became a blacksmith. This, however, this moment you're seeing is before, so you must have been a child. This is the house.
And there's no other buildings around. It's just this building in the middle of the mist alone.
Yep.
What magic foolery is this? Building hasn't looked like this since I was a child.
As you're
Where's the forge?
As you're kind of standing there, you can hear the slight murmuring of a deep voice that you could easily recognize as your father's. You can't quite make out what he's saying, but he's definitely speaking on the inside of this window.
I'm gonna go to the door and try to open it.
As you walk around to the side, there is a door that you easily push open. It groans. The old wood groans when you open it. Inside, you know that the house is dissected into two different rooms. One room is kind of the main room where you did all your living stuff, kitchen, etc., dining. The other one was a single bedroom that you and your entire family shared. One bed was your parents' and one bed was yours. Your mother is sleeping with her back facing you in the big bed, but there's a small candle in the corner of the room on your bed. And when you look over, you see a child version of yourself with the biggest smile across your face. Your father is leaned up against you with his feet on your bed. Both you guys are just relaxing and chilling, and he's sitting there. He has his fingers crossed over his belly, and he is retelling you a tale. Long ago, I was the king of the Svalich Woods. I was the lord of these woods. Everything is my command. Everyone listened. But then, it all changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Don't you dare!
It all changed when the Von Zaroviches attacked.
I freaking called it.
Sorry, I had to. The Von Zaroviches stormed across the land, murdering and pillaging, wiping out all of the free people. The Turks, a ancient barbarian civilization, were completely wiped out as they rebelled against the Von Zaroviches. Us elves were forced into damn near slavery. He took my crown. He took my wife. He took everything from us. Do you say anything?
And what have you now, you old fool? What manner of dream is this?
When you say that, you notice that they don't hear you, but the child version says the same thing as what you just said. Says,
Oh
"What
shit!
He says, "What have you now, father?"
Ooh.
And he says, he smiles and looks over at you, and he points at you in the chest, and he says, "I have a family. I may not be king anymore, but I have all that I need right here." Do you say anything else?
Is my real quick out of game is my mother still around
Yeah, she would be a
at this
human.
point?
She would be a human, and she's still alive. Well, actually, that's up to you. Do you want her to still be alive, or you want her to be dead?
I don't know.
Oh, no. All right, well, we'll leave that ambiguous for now.
Uh,
As a matter of fact, he actually reaches down and stands up and runs
Sorry.
over to a bookshelf and grabs a book. And this is where he begins to show you all of these different paintings that he had done while he was a king. And he would show you paintings of himself with this awesome crown and, just stuff like that. He would eventually put the book away and tell you to go to bed and blow the candle out. And as soon as he blows the candle out, all of darkness just goes around you. Suddenly,
like the house is gone.
everything is just complete black. Your vision slowly begins to light up as mist all around you becomes visible. Nothing but white mist, gray, flowing with this wind. It almost is as if there's a wind, but you feel nothing on your skin. As you look around, you see these two massive horns, one on either side of you. Huge. As you're kind of gaining your new location, you notice that you're standing on something squishy. It's got the texture of not quite mud, but kind of like mud, and it's kind of bouncy. And it's sticky.
This dream just gets stranger and stranger.
Suddenly, you see a massive movement before you. At first, what looks like a giant mountain rising up out of the mist, you notice is an elbow, and then an arm, and then a massive hand. You are no bigger than his entire fingernail. As this massive hand reaches up and slowly just plucks you and lifts you up. And as the wind comes flying past your face, your hair's all in your face, and it lowers you down, and you see this massive head and
At this point, I'm screaming. By the way, I'm screaming my head off.
As it lowers itself down and looks at you with one eye. This is no normal face. The skin color on this massive being is a dark, sickly purple. It has a very clean-shaven face and long, pointy elven ears. On top of the ears is two massive ram-like horns, huge. But what is even more terrifying is that right above the mouth, there is no head at all. It is just mouth, elf ears, and horns.
Mm.
On top of where his eyes and the top of his head should be is just nothing but mist slowly rising off of this being's head. And it says, "Nikolai, Oh, how long I've been waiting for you to come into existence. I see you've gained your new powers. How do they sit with you?
You. What is this? What are you?
I'm afraid
Wake up, wake up, wake up!
There's no waking up unless I will it. Oh, who did we lose?
Gosh.
It's okay. Oh, there he goes. There's no waking up unless I will it. And as for who I am, your infancy brain might not be able to handle it at the moment.
Voice. I recognize your voice.
Yes.
You've spoken to me before.
Many times. Just know it is I who you have to thank for many things in your life. So, you're welcome.
It's your voice I heard in my dreams whispering. The words you told me, I spoke it and that woman died.
Yes, quite unfortunate that. But most impressive and fun to watch for me.
You say these powers come from you then?
Well, I've awakened them. Your true sire is... Well, let's keep that a bit of a mystery still, shall we? But you could thank them for that.
What do you mean, my true sire? I am the son of Casimir Velikov.
Oh, you are. You are. Your physical being is definitely a descendant of the Velikov bloodline. This is why your sorceress powers are being able to peak so early. But what's inside is what counts. I know none of this makes much sense to you now, little Nikolai. One day it shall. I promise that. All of the answers will come in time. But I offer you this. Knowledge. If you find your true being, if you can take the place that your father gave up so easily, I can grant you powers unimaginable. One power that only is capable in dreams, but in real life. Have you ever wondered what is real and what is a dream? Do you ever wonder when you wake up if you just woke up from the dream or if you're waking up into the dream? Have you ever asked yourself that, Nikolai?
Only very recently when these strange visions began.
It always intrigues me that people just accept the fact that Barovia is what it is. No one asks why. No one asks when or how. But those three answers are what you should seek.
How, what? When, what?
Exactly. Nikolai, I will be popping in briefly, in and out, but just know that I am the Lord of dreams and nightmares. Anytime you rest your pretty little eyes, I will be there. And just as a hint, next time you reach into one's mind, you must be willing to match their intelligence. If you cannot match their intelligence, you will be hurt more than the person you're trying to connect to. Does that make sense?
I understand. Such a dangerous thing to meddle with the mind. Why have you given me this power?
Because you're going to need it. Now, I have other things to attend to. As you can see, and he reaches out, well, this being is kind of he and she at the same time looking. The mist kind of reveals itself like waist down. You can see the entire scale of this massive being's body, and this being is wearing like a long dress, almost kind of like a monk. Belly is exposed, rock hard 6-pack abs, but it has like a band around its chest, which looks like it could have boobs, but also is very flat chested. So it's very, I don't know what the word is. Not amorphous.
Androgynous.
Androgynous, thank you. Very androgynous being that you're looking down upon. And this being slowly reveals its hand, and this hand has massive, like, 2-inch claws on it, and the mists disperse. And what you see are all of these floating islands. And on these islands, you can see just spirits moving along each other, and there's buildings on top of these islands. Some of the islands are even upside down, and they have massive towers on them. And it says, "As you can tell, I have much to attend to, and you have much to learn. Where would you like me to send you back to?"
I would be done with this journey and sent to Stonebridge Hollow if you have the power.
I can get you close enough. And the being leans in closer and closer and closer and closer and closer until its eyeball is right up to you and says, "Learn my name. I have little power without your knowledge of it. My divine rules won't allow me to just divulge this information. Do you understand?"
We'll learn your name. And I will seek out these questions. So many questions.
And one more thing. Just to prove my worth to you, if my stature alone was not worthy, your aunt, Katrina, I know where she is. And with my help, you can save her. And with that, the being just lets go, and you fall into darkness.
I'm screaming again as I fall. Just, ah!
Meanwhile, back with the rest of our group. So, as I was saying, I have these 2 chance cubes here, but, my brother would be a lot better with, with the whole deal kind of thing, but he gets really upset whenever we bother him, so I think we could work something out, right? I do have these chance cubes here, so if you just want to, how about this? You can call either blue, green, or both, and I will do the same, and whoever is right wins. It's that simple. What do you say, sure? How do you say your name?
It's pronounced Shaunak.
Okay, Nutsack. Got it. All right, Nutsack. You're just gonna take these dimes, these chance cubes, and you're gonna roll them for me right here. And he hands you the chance cubes.
All right, then, you deep thought. Or should I say, Toad Boy? Anyways, ignore that last bit. As he hands them to me, I look at him and I go, mind if I do a test run right quick? And I
Sure.
toss them, and as I toss them, I kind of stumble a little bit. I'm going to try and pick his sash pouch thing that I stashed the stuff into without him noticing while I'm doing a stumble.
While he's literally looking right at you.
Yes, like he's looking at me and I'm throwing it and I'm accidentally bumping into him. You know what a bump lift is? That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I would normally make you roll a sleight of hand at disadvantage. But because you are bumping him, I will say if you roll higher than me in this moment, I'll let you roll at regular. So
Yeah.
go ahead and just roll a d20.
20. Okay. What'd you get?
What'd you get?
Got 19. What'd you get?
Okay. As you reach out and you're trying to pickpocket him, you feel a massive cluster of crystal, and you feel his wand. Other than that, you kind of feel something gooey, and that's where you stop.
Taking the crystal. I didn't want to reach that far down.
Okay. As you try to take this crystal, he's going to make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. Let's see. He's got to beat my dexterity for his perception, just.
Yeah,
What's he got?
well,
Do the
And
pass to
he
notice.
gets a natural 20.
Oh, damn it.
So-
let's slide.
As you go to reach out and you say, "Oh," and he feels you immediately, and he says, you just feel this slimy wetness grab onto you. Are you trying to fool me, nutsack?
No, I was just trying to find if you had a pair.
They're there. They're there.
And then I kind of lift my arms and I go, all right, I'll roll. So I roll. I was hoping I'd be able to snag the crystal at least. Oh, well.
Hope they'd be able to
right.
snag that pair.
Thought stands
Yeah, I
up
didn't want
tall
to get his.
and crosses his arms, and his brows are furrowed down at you. Go ahead, roll the dice.
So,
I want you to
I'm
go ahead
gonna
and roll 2d20. Odds are blue, evens are green, and so if you have a mix, let me know. So right now, I want you to call greens, blues, or mix.
so what I'm doing is,
Odds, evens,
blue, or
or
mix.
whatever you.
and with the roll 20, we'll tell what the color will land on.
What?
Is that what I said? I'm calling green, blue, or mix, and the dice will tell what color it lands on.
Yeah, odds are green. No, odds are blue, evens are green, and that's it. So what do you call?
So that's right here. I'm not throwing yet. I'm gonna call odds blue, evens are green. Green.
Roll it. You're looking for evens.
Yep. On dice don't fail me now. My dice can't fail me now. My dice can't fail me now. Landed
Oh, they
on
can.
a. What is it? Oh, that's. Sorry, don't mind me. Funny, we're in 10 and 20.
Okay, you should be
Where was
rolling.
that when I needed to pickpocket?
You should be rolling
You said
2d6.
D20. You said do 2 D20s.
D6.
You did
My
say
bad.
2d20s.
Okay.
I said D20s.
Yeah.
I totally meant to say
Yeah.
2d6. My bad,
Mhm.
guys.
Okay, let me try again.
Yeah.
Please don't screw me over.
Call
Because
the
that was a
chance
good one.
cubes. They're chance cubes, not tetrahedrons or whatever they're called.
I'm sorry, I thought I accidentally threw your pair. All right. Total is the 2 and a 4.
Okay.
Ready?
So now it's his
I
turn.
landed my. Yes.
And he looks
So I
down
got
and,
mine.
and he snatches them out of your hand. Lucky shot, lucky shot. All right, guys, big money, blue.
Ooh,
What do you get? I haven't seen
Damn
it.
it.
green.
Oh.
I'll be having the stuff now. Hands up.
Fine. Ina here is gonna be pissed about this one, not this again. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a hand-sized crystal. And he looks down at you and hands it over to you.
And the wand?
I'm gonna be keeping that on my person. Well,
And the wand.
I want you to know this, nutsack. I prefer to be in my black box, but with this new deal, I gotta be in the crystal. So, usually to summon me from the black box, people you would say, deep in mind, deep in thought, and I would come out of the box like poof. So if we could just keep the catchphrase, that would be fine. And he absorbs
I didn't hear you,
crystal.
deep thought. Your deep thought.
And as you're holding this crystal, the crystal
weird.
turns into a black gem.
Alright, so it goes from a pure white kind of diamond crystal to a black gem.
Yep.
I want to go run up and snatch that jewelry.
What
Be right back.
You said that
Trying to steal the.
when he popped out of the
Yeah, the crystal.
there was some necklaces and stuff.
Oh,
just a
on the
crystal.
floor. Okay, yeah, he's talking about the stuff that when he was emptying out
Like
his
when I
pouch,
popped open the
he
black
had
box, you said that jewelry came out.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll look it up real quick, but I don't. I think it was just the crystal and the wand.
you said jewelry.
I
let me
don't
look it up.
recall anything from that.
where I'm
At this-
insulting the toad.
At this very moment, as soon as the black slot sucks into the crystal, Nikolai, you find yourself in the middle of the forest, and you hear some commotion not far ahead of you.
So I'm just falling, and then suddenly I'm on the ground in the forest,
Yep.
like without having hit something.
Yep,
Yeah,
you
kind of
land.
like you're
you-
falling.
you- You land really gracefully, actually. Okay, yep. So there is a diamond necklace and a silver bracelet.
I wanna run up and grab those.
Okay, so you go grab those. Perfect. Nikolai, as you kind of stand in the mist, you notice that you're not far off the path, and you can hear... Well, Shonak, after winning the game of wits, what does Nikolai hear?
That's your demonic twit.
That's what you hear.
More creatures in this damn mist.
Guy
Those
hears
all
that and looks
Start
over.
walk.
Nikolai, as you walk out through the undergrowth, you see a familiar face. It's Andrew's face. And as you walk around, you see the face of your companions, the small group, and cart being pulled by Jahaka, just on the road.
Does Hendrik see Nicola?
Yep.
He waves at him.
Hendrix, Andrew, Jahaka.
Hey, bud.
So glad I found you. How long have I been gone? I was lost in the mist.
A few hours.
I must have been falling for 30 minutes.
Falling.
It's It's a long story.
Okay.
Can we just get back on the road?
Hey,
As he
Yeah.
rubs his head.
you got lost in the mist too. Hey, welcome back to the Mist Lost Club. I'm going to be making jackets when we get home. Ah.
I forgot about
Is that
Eric.
part of my payment then?
Hello.
No, I would be honored to give the Lost Mist Club their first jackets. Are you serious?
Is he being sarcastic?
No, he looks genuine.
Get a
Sure,
tin of
I'll
banner
use the
ad
Oh.
and then
jacket.
put a little wisp of mist.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was kind of thinking. That was kind of thoughtish. Yes, that was exactly what I was kind of thinking. We could, you could parade around town and be like, "Hey, we're lost in the mist." It could be a whole thing. I see it now. Nikolai and the people of the Lost Mist. It's got a ring to it.
Oh, Lord. I mean, what's your name, sir?
Who's this then? Another traveler lost in the mist. Well met, sir.
Hi, nice to meet you again. I mean, nice to meet you, sir. My name's Shonak.
Ah,
And
Nikolai.
what brings you to the Svalich Road, Shonak?
Let's get to town before we start talking. We already got attacked twice.
I can't agree more.
Agreed. Let's go.
Yeah, I would prefer not to die.
We can just kind of do like a walk and talk kind of thing, like, hey, monsters, we're kind of getting out of here. Just leave us alone, right?
Aaron,
Agreed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That ain't how this works.
No, not usually, right?
Depends on the monster.
What is that? Oh, it's just you, Jaka. Oh.
Come on, you big man. Let's go.
All right. Is there any other kind of roleplay you guys want to do before we finally get to Stonebridge Hollow?
Yeah. So I want to either speed up or fall back to Nikolai.
Go for it.
You think your dad would let me sell these? And he pulls out the diamond necklace and the silver bracelet.
Where did you find that?
Long story.
While he's talking to him, my guy just kind of picks the crystal up next to his mouth and says, "Your mother never loved you anyways."
A tongue appears. and
That's the insult.
a tongue appears and it just goes.
Yeah.
So my guy's insulting the crystal while you two are talking, and it's insulting him back. Go ahead.
What's with the new guy and the pet rock?
Long story. So we won a game of chance, and this giant frog, 10-foot frog man, just got sucked into this crystal, and now we have the crystal.
Oh, so you've got time for that long story, but not how you came across these valuables.
Oh, so these,
Aaron's just like, it's kind of the same story, actually.
I picked a box, you spell out, giant frog man, game of chance.
I don't know. My father doesn't deal often in jewelry, but I suppose he may have a look.
I'm just trying to get up some spare gold, so maybe he can also help me fix my,
Is that a gunshot? Are you hearing that? That's a gunshot? Okay.
so he can help me fix my friend's blade.
I will say, when you kind of hold it out, Nikolai, when you look down at this blade, it doesn't look like anything spectacular about this blade at all. It actually looks very plain. It looks like just a standard guard sword, long sword. It's broken in such a way, kind of like Narsil, and just broken, damn near in half.
I mean, you might be slightly better off buying a new sword at this point. You could reforge it, but it's never going to be the same.
I'm not gonna reforge it. I would like to get it repaired, but if it's gonna be different, then I'd rather leave it the same. Just trying to honor my friend.
Back, Shauna looks back and says, You think you might be able to forge me something too? I might have some stuff to sell it. Crap, I
I'm
don't
sure
have
he
any.
could. I'm sure he could help us out. Yeah, it's the finest blacksmith in Stonebridge. The first blacksmith in Stonebridge, in fact.
I'm really now. My guy occasionally does stumbles when he's talking to you. That's what it's not me actually trying to rephrase. That's part of his character.
Yeah, and I would say you kind of pick up on this, Nikolai. He like almost seems nervous to talk to you.
He's bathroom.
Well, yes, my father was one of the founding members of the village.
Oh, look at
Randall's
you
kind
over
of-
there, being very classy.
Nikolai laughs a little bit to himself.
Sonic looks over at Andrew and goes, "Yes, he's so classy. He drinks with his pinky extended."
Alrighty. So you
we
guys,
arrived.
yep, you guys finally arrive at the north gate of Stonebridge Hollow after a long day of travel, and you're tired.
Oh.
As you guys walk, you guys know that Stonebridge Hollow is actually a coastal town. It is just off the coast of a massive river. I believe it's called the Luna River or the Raven River. I don't actually remember at this exact moment, but it's a huge river that I know they're like right next door. All right, sit down. So, as I was saying, you guys were like, you can feel yourselves declining in elevation, and the smell of like just lake is kind of like emanating. You know, it's really humid and kind of musty, and it kind of almost starts smelling like fish. It just smells like lake everywhere. And like I said, after a long day of travel, you guys are all exhausted. It's nearly noon, and the gates are closed before you. Just your luck. A watchman stands atop the wall gate staring as you approach. And I learned how to do a new thing.
Oh, neat.
That is what you guys see.
Oh, the notes?
Cool.
So, like I said, there's a probably a 15 to 18 foot tall stone wall that goes around the perimeter of Stonebridge Hollow, which is very standard in Barovia. All of the cities have this massive wall protecting it from the outside world because there's obviously monsters everywhere in this place. And the gate is this old Svalich road leads slowly up to a shut gate, and just your luck, there's a guard standing on top of the gate.
Would I recognize this guard?
You've seen him around for sure. You might have talked to him once or twice in your life. Same with you, Hendrix. But I don't know if you would know his name necessarily.
Okay.
Like a history check?
Sure. Roll history if you would like to see if you know. That goes for you as well, Nikolai.
Yes.
While they're doing that, I look up and I go, "Aye, why is the gate closed?"
Disadvantage or advantage.
Are you rolling with advantage?
I don't mean to. Oh, I got a 4.
I got a 12.
Okay, Shonak, as you yell out towards this man, he notices you guys and looks over at you and he says, "You know, monsters and such, just doing my duty. Are you coming? Business or pleasure?"
I'm here to see my family. From Kresik.
And the lot of you.
Back from business in Kresik.
I imagine the convoy's business as well.
Oh, Aaron,
Mine's
is that
business.
you, mate? Hello, it's me. It's Aaron, just kind of came back from Kresik. I'm back now.
What happened accent.
It's hard to do 17 different accents, Trev. I would like to see you try. Well, nice to see you. Why don't you guys... Oi! Open the gates! Right on, open the gates. And the gates kind of slowly open in front of you. Nikolai, I would say that you, as you are kind of thinking about it, you know that this dude's name is Broden. As the gates open, Broden runs down and meets you guys right at the opening of the gate. This man looks a little weird. Not gonna lie. His eyes are pretty bulgy, and as a matter of fact, you've seen this guy a few times, and he looks a little different. He almost looks like he got stung by a bunch of bees or something. His face is kind of puffy. His
Are
beard...
you well, Broden?
Yeah, I'm totally fine, mate. How about you? It's been a minute, right?
It looks like he got stung by something.
So you've been mentioning you're all here for business.
Andrew just-
What kind of business? What were you saying, Andrew? Dude, Andrew's got like a 5-second delay. We're about to lose him. And gone.
Yeah.
Bros.
yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, what were we about to
He's
say?
thinking.
Andrew just kind of like looks at the guy and is like, oh my god, what have you done to your face?
Well, that's kind of rude, isn't it?
He just
I
was
am an
wondering if he
elf.
got
I do
caught.
not know these customs that you people have.
Mike,
Pardon my
I
friend.
only
He's
deal with elves.
he's from a small village up north where they're quite rude and barbaric. To answer your question, I was up in Kresik selling some of my father's wares, and on my return, we joined with Aaron in his fine caravan for defense against the creatures of the night. Our journey has been perilous and long. You think there's
Yes.
room in the? Do you think there's room in one of the inns for my friends here?
Yeah, you lot look like hell, that's for damn sure.
Speak for yourself, friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it, be the bearer of bad news, but things have kind of changed around here, but you could always go check out the Gilman.
Do you mean things have changed? I've been gone, what, a week?
Yeah. I don't really want to talk about it too much. The EOD don't like us talking about them, behind their backs.
Who's the EOD? First of all, I've been gone for 2 years.
It's not really my position or job title to let you know, just so you know, when you do come in, I'm not allowed to let you leave until morning. No one's allowed to come or go, during the night.
I'm not planning on going anywhere outside the walls anytime soon.
You're gonna tell me who the EOD is first.
I mean, I agree with you there, Nikolai. If you go out wandering off into the woods looking for trouble, you're gonna find it, right, mate?
I look pointedly at Andrew.
What? Me? What did I do?
You know what you did. You know what you did. And I thank you for getting me out there, but you know what you did.
No, I don't.
Like I said, though, right? You
Don't
lot could
know what you
go
are talking about, sir.
You lot could go stay at the Gilman. It's got good drinks, warm fire. I'm about to head there as soon as my shift ends, as a matter of fact. I might meet you there.
Sounds like a plan.
Aaron, do you have any other plans, prior plans for lodging?
You know what I'm doing? I'm going to the center of town and I'm getting set up and I'm going to make some money. Oh, speaking of, and he kind of rummages into the carriage and he tosses each of you guys a small bag of 25 gold pieces. Except you, Shonak.
No, I'm waiting for the coat. Shonak's just like, and when Aaron's like looking at me confused for I'm not giving you gold. It's like coat. He was looking forward to that coat, the jacket club for the Mystic Survivors.
What are you talking? It's not even that cold. I'm actually kind of warm.
A club jacket. You know what I'm talking about. I want one.
Give me a week, 2 weeks tops, all right, buddy?
I'll hold you to it.
Sounds like a deal.
All
right.
So out of game, how much do we get?
25 gold.
Wait, how much gold? You kind of cut out when he was saying how much.
Yeah, you're having some connection
25.
issues there, Josh. 25 gold.
Oh, 5?
No.
25.
Or
5.
oh, 25.
20?
Thank you.
We
You.
got there in the end, boys.
We got lost in the mist. So,
Okay.
as
perfect.
we're walking towards the guild, Shauna kind of just glances over with a scowl because he still remembers the isolated small village to the north of Mark and is just looking at him like, uncool, man. He doesn't say, he's just giving him the that's uncool look as they're walking.
Okay, so before you, I have the map of Stonebridge Hollow. Like I said, the town of Stonebridge Hollow is kind of like a coastal town just off of the banks of the Raven River.
Which leads to, if I'm right, Lake Forest.
Where's my house?
I believe Casimir's. Let me go to the spots
Down towards the
here.
center, right?
Probably around.
Areas. Velikov's Anvil is number 9.
Number 9. Okay.
Where's my house?
Your house would be in between 8 and 5, somewhere like right here.
Okay. I'm gonna head to my house. I'll meet you guys at the Gilman in a few hours. I need to see my parents. It's been a few years.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright.
I
Okay.
will follow you because I need to see the blacksmith. And your father's the blacksmith.
All right, immediately Hendrix just runs off.
Bye!
See my parents.
He doesn't even wait for the alright, he's just gone.
Yep. What do you guys do?
Well, I'm following him because he said his father was a blacksmith, so I'm assuming he's heading that way before we meet up at the guild.
At the Gilman.
The bar. Yeah, at the bar.
The Gilman. Which the Gilman is number 4.
Okay.
The North Gate, which is where you guys just were talking to Broden, is up here at number 1. That's the North Gate.
Well, I suppose we'll head toward Velikov's Anvil if that's where everybody wants to go. Sorry, I don't want to hug the session too much.
No, you're good.
That's alright, I just need to repair a certain item in my pack. James, out of game. It's, am I purchasing or repairing the item I was talking to you about earlier?
What
Protection
item? I'm sorry.
The
Your shield?
shield item?
Oh
Is
yeah,
it
you
purchase
just
or repair?
just buy it.
Okay. Alright, back in game.
Yeah, so funny. Trev really wants a crossbow, and the first thing he does is, "I'm going home." We're all going
Yeah.
to the blacksmith to get shit. Trev's like, "I'm running home."
The whole time,
Okay.
the Haka is just being stoic, just...
I will say, as you guys are kind of walking, the Okay, number 5 is the fish market, and that is where kind of the merchants go. And I will say that, like, on your guys' way, Aaron's kind of splits off, and, you guys drop the carriage off at number 5, and you can see him kind of starting to get set up. As you guys are walking through the fish market, I will say... Why is this, like, not what I wrote down?
Maybe it tried to recompile it.
No, I put it in events for some reason.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The smell of fresh fish is overwhelming. Someone nearby is frying up a delicious-smelling feast. A bald man smiles up at you, offering you if you want some. He smiles and has, like, hippo teeth. There are many stalls with many vendors. It seems the catch for today was very successful. As you look around, there are almost every type of fish you've seen that are edible. As you walk, vendors call out to you, "Free fish! Just caught!" Or, "You're too thin, here, have some fish!" As you make your way through, only halfway through the market, you each have been forced to hold a fish in each hand. There is a large wooden platform with barrels filled with, you guessed it, more fish. There is a woman on top of the stage barking orders to workers moving barrels to be distributed. She tilts one barrel on its side and rolls it to your side of the platform. The barrel slams, shaking the whole platform. She reaches up and brushes her hair back as you guys catch eyes. Oh, hi!
Hey, more fish?
Hello.
Would you guys like some fish? It's all free.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need any more fish.
Why is the fish free?
It's free fish day, buddy.
Ronak
What's
just
the
shaking his
catch?
head, looking at everyone, shaking his head.
You're not here.
Is,
actually,
is this
Hendrik.
something? Is this something I'm familiar with as a resident of?
No.
No.
Yeah,
But as
well,
you look
Yeah.
around, everyone's just all smiles, walking around with handfuls of fish.
What is going on here?
you're
And
not
Jake's
asked,
here.
let's just get to the blacksmith first.
Jake,
This
you've been a
sounds very strange.
He's been
You
very
got
stoic.
fish in your hands. What do you do?
You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you. Just go
Yeah,
ahead and
so
continue,
sorry.
guys.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I started late.
No worries.
What have I missed? Was
No worries,
the
mate, dude.
was the
We
game
made
of-
it. We made it to town.
What
I
happened
have
with?
a pet giant black toad that I'm insulting and is insulting me back, stuck in a crystal.
I figure I had a feeling you'd win that game of wits. And look at the bright side: if your soul was trapped in a crystal, we would have killed him and taken it and found a way to keep your soul with your soulless body.
Okay.
At the very least.
The worst part of it was I actually got some. Anyways, go, James.
Yeah, so we don't derail what's happening here.
Yeah.
Basically, they've walked up to the fish market, and a woman in charge of the free fish day, as what she calls it, has just offered everybody some fish.
And Shaunok is shaking his head no the whole time. To everyone, just no.
I don't eat, so
This is
Can I
quite
incite her?
strange. What do you mean free fish day? Whose idea was this?
The EOD, of course. It's free fish day.
The who now?
I start scowling.
The EOD, we're a non-profit organization that is really here only to help benefit the citizens of Stonebridge Hollow. And everyone around them goes, yeah! EOD! 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 The EOD stands for Everyone's Obligated Duty. I hate to be a bother, but can you guys help me real quick?
Need to go pick something up. I'll help you later if I have the time.
Okay, I'll be here.
All right.
I'm
And she
afraid I'm
turns-
already on a task for the blacksmith, but perhaps another time.
Perfect. She turns around and starts doing what she's doing.
As we're walking, go ahead.
No, you first. Sorry.
No. I'm gonna be doing it after. What's your guy doing?
Okay. Okay. Andrew just like kind of like whispers to the group and is like, did something seem off with that person?
Quite.
She was a human, by the way. Red-haired, very fit, maybe about 5.5 feet tall. She had some muscles on her for sure, and she sported a tattoo of a fish with a trident on her arm.
Well,
course.
as they're walking away, he's just
Fish
kind of glancing,
lovers.
but then just keeps on. And as they're walking away, Shaunach leans over and just whispers to them, being like, "You're better off, or you're better off not asking for now. Trust me, it's trouble.
What
I
happened
know you just
to
met me, but trust me, Nikolai, it's bad."
what happened to Von Graff and Endor?
I like you. I don't trust you.
I will say that they're kind of just helping out with Aaron,
Okay.
So
and you kind of left them in the dust.
bodyguard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So strange happenings around here.
Yep.
I don't know what this EOD business is.
As you guys are kind of standing
must
there,
speak
there's
to my
people
father.
walking all around you back and forth. This spot of town is really busy right now. It's it's kind of in the middle of the day. Free fish day. Everyone's walking
Free
around
fish
with like
day.
free fish day. So everyone's kind of walking around with like 2, 3, 4 fish, fresh as hell. Literally just pulled them out of the river. Free fish day.
I don't know how the merchants can afford to hand away so much free fish.
you might want to get rid of yours.
That man over there was hustling a child for a fish not 2 weeks ago.
Something does seem off.
As
About
soon as
this.
Shaunach says,
Jake, will you put your
I
headphones
agree.
on, please?
and as soon as
They are on.
I hear a little bit of a echo. And now it's gone. Weird. Okay, go ahead, Josh.
anyway, as Shaunach says to like dispose of the fish, like when no one's looking, he just kind of like tosses his fish into the river.
As you do that, a couple other people clearly notice and go grab the fish. And this lady's like, "What is wrong with you?"
Oh god.
And continue and walks off. And she's like holding her little kid and just tops off with her nose in the air. It's free fish
Was
day.
there
Val, you told me.
It's on a
Was there-
vegetarian
Sorry, but
diet.
I
You can't
do not
eat fish
know
at
the
the moment.
was this
Yes,
holiday
I'm not a pescatarian.
was this holiday common before recently? I have not been to this part of this world.
Never
Seems-
heard of this nonsense, nor the EOD they speak of.
Even the mood of the people seems more rambunctious than one would expect from the residents of Stone Hollow, wouldn't you say? From not just stories, but from the overall history. At least from what you've all described it as previously.
I mean, it
Andrew just
is-
kinda says, I'm more like
I'm gonna wave a free fish in your face. It's fish day. Everyone's excited, apparently.
I just look perplexed,
Andrew's kind of like,
like I don't eat.
And that's what he's saying each time as we're approaching the blacksmith, he just looks over at any person offering a fish going, "I don't eat, I don't eat, I don't eat."
There's just like this slime running down all of you
Andrews-
guys as all the fish has been forcefully pushed into your guys' arms.
Andrew's like just kind of like muttering to himself, but like loud enough so that y'all can hear him. He's like, more like they are very obnoxious more than anything.
Okay. As you guys leave, I will say, Nikolai, you know that Armin's vendor shop where he sells your father's wares is just around the corner, and you will have to pass by it. And as you do, you walk by, and there are usually weapons hanging like in the back of his little stall. But as you walk by, the curtain is closed, and clearly nobody is there.
No wonder. I wonder what happened to him. You know, it's the man whose house we encountered on the first day of our journey.
Who's
His
that
poor
now?
wife.
Oh, yeah.
Shonak doesn't know what's going on. I do, but he doesn't, so he's just like, what's that now?
A house ransacked by bandits on our travels.
Ah,
And
my condolences, I think. You knew him well?
He wasn't there, as far as we know. Unless he was. That creature.
What creature? Shauna kind of is on guard when he says that. Just, you said creature and death, and so he's like, what creature?
Lean in close and whisper, vampires.
What? Kind of I don't know if it throws any of you guys off, but he just sighs of relief going, oh, good.
You sigh in relief. You're like, oh, thank God.
Andrew noticed.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Andrew notices, but is like too like annoyed to care. He's like,
Because he's getting face strong. Stop giving me the fishes. So, where are we gonna go to get the equipment and gear we need? Since your friend vendor is not here. Is your father on hand? Maybe.
Not much further now.
Okay.
As you guys, what were you about to say, Jake?
I'm still carrying the wagon, or did I finally deliver that? Or did we deliver it?
You delivered that.
Okay, good. Because otherwise, I was wondering if I was getting fish slapped in my face this whole time pulling a wagon through town.
Poof, 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 poof.
You got paid, by the way, the 25 gold.
free fish today.
Money.
Free fish day.
And you have enough scales to count it. I regret nothing.
Free fish day, everyone. They said it would be fun. They said.
Okay, so as you guys kind of leave the fish market, which it is now called, you guys approach very close to the river, and as you approach to the river, you guys turn left down a not so busy street, and the smell of fish slowly fades into the background. However, off to the right of you, to the south of you, towards the Raven River, you can see that there's like a small inlet where people dock their fishing ships, and you can clearly see one ship really does stand out to you guys. And as you guys all kind of look down at it, you can clearly see the name of... It's painted on there. It says Kurai Tong on the side of this massive, beautiful ship. But as
How
you
do you spell
get...
that?
Kuraitong is Kuraitong. And I would just say...
It's more ag, except correct.
And I would just say that you would know that it means frying pan.
Nice.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Beautiful ship. Very well taken care of, and it is docked inside of the docks. But
And that's
as you-
not any ship that I recognize from being a local.
I would say, ooh. Yeah, I'll say that you definitely have seen the ship before, for sure. Okay. So this little smithy that you guys approach is no more than a 1-level log cabin.
It's like smithy outside, then the log cabin goes right next to it.
Yep, pretty much. It's like I said, it has like an addition on the side of it, and you can hear what sounds like tings of the sound of metal hitting metal as you approach.
Okay. I'm thinking like the building Laud's cabin from Falkreath in Skyrim, if any of you know that building.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. Whatever helps you.
Like,
As you guys approach, the familiar symbol above the door is of Velikov's anvil. It is an anvil, black, and above the anvil is a elf's face, except the ears are like broken off, like the tips of the ears have been clipped.
that doesn't bode well. Shauna said that when he looks at it and sees it, it's like, that doesn't look well.
I hate that damn sign.
Was it like that when you were here before?
See. Always.
Okay. It'll look better.
Andrew immediately like kind of puts his hair over his ears.
So, while we're saying that, I approach the sound of the tings in the smithy. Who there?
Returned and brought potential customers.
As you guys approach, there is a very clearly old elf. He has long... He's not old in the sense that he looks old and fragile and frail. He just has an aura around him of wisdom.
He's old.
He honestly, just picture Elrond, literally. He's a tall elf, broad shoulders. I think we lost AJ. He's a tall elf, broad shoulders, and
I had to shut off my camera for a second.
you're good. He has long black hair pulled up and up into a knot, and he has his full outfit on, and he has blackened goggles and is tinging away on what looks like to be horseshoes as you guys approach. And as Nikolai turns and calls out to him, he turns around and lifts up his goggles. Son, nice to see you back. I take it everything went okay? And potential customers.
As well as we could have expected with the taxes these days. Unfortunately, had some rather interesting complications on the way back. I made some new friends.
I see that. Tell me you
Hello.
have the full 100 golden straws.
And a bit extra as I give him what he's owed from the transactions plus 10 of the 25 that I got from Aaron.
Perfect. He rifles through the bag real quick with a big smile and hands you another 20 gold. Thank you, son.
I look over or walk up next to them and look over at what's his name? Your
You haven't
father's name?
asked.
Right. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Shonak. I was wondering if I could commission you to make me a shield. Special design.
Pleasure's all mine. I've not seen a tiefling in many, many years.
Anymore.
The
We
na-
live in a isolated community.
The name's Casimir. I could make you pretty much anything your heart's desire, though it could take me a week. What do you got? What do you got in mind?
I show him a paper diagram I have drawn up of the shield. It's a pop-up shield. You put on your wristband, and then when you need to activate, you just tap the crank, pops up, and then you turn it to seal it back up, and it's got an emblem on it.
Oh, I see.
Ooh.
It seems that you're already aware of the trick weapons. Who, if you don't mind me asking, who brought this light upon you? I thought I was the first to come upon this. And as you're kind of sitting there thinking, he turns around and grabs a sword. He puts it on the table in front of you. I came up with this a few months back. You see, the trick is you grab the handle and twist, and as he does that, it pops out into a spear.
Nice. Nice.
Ooh.
Really like that design.
How
To answer
much?
your
For this, 750 golden straws.
Well, it looks like we have to make some money then. I like that design.
Alright, that's you too.
I've got
To
others.
answer your... Sorry. Okay. To answer your question, word of your work has spread far and wide, and when I heard about it, I just thought about how it could be implemented into a shield. It is your work, I just wanted to make it serve your skill set.
How could you know of my father's experimental designs? They've not been for sale yet.
Shalnock starts looking nervous because he's not sure how to explain this without sounding like a complete kook.
Now, don't bother him, son. Word spreads quickly here in Barovia. It's not uncommon.
That's it, though. That's it, though.
What did you say,
He's starting
Gord?
to turn redder than his red hue.
And as he's saying that, he briefly cuts himself off as he makes eye contact with you, Andrew. An elf.
Mm-hmm. He kind of bows and is like, yeah.
He
Nikolai.
claims to be from a land not of Barovia, father.
Not of Barovia. That hasn't happened in over a decade.
What do you mean?
Decade.
Yeah, the mists have been closed. The borders have been closed for a while.
Well, I was on patrol in my country with a friend, and 1 minute they was there, the next minute I was on the road. So, explain that to me, kind sir?
I have no answers for you, friend. But your presence is welcome here in the weeping lands of Barovia. Us elves have always been on the bottom foot of the regular folks around here. You'll notice that rather quickly.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, let's just say the elven name doesn't hold as strong as it used to.
While you're talking about this particular subject, Nikolai steps over and starts fiddling with things, like on the workbench.
As you walk over, there's actually wooden statuettes of elven deities that are like all along the wall. And there's a tapestry of a forest that hangs on the opposite side of the wall. I do admit your presence does bring me strange tidings. I've been haunted by dreams sent to me by... He looks over at Nikolai, who's off playing with stuff, and he leans in and he says, "My dead sister." Petrina. Her spirit languishes in the catacombs below Castle Ravenloft and has been for centuries. In my dreams, there is a tall standing elf with non-clipped ears and saves her. I always thought this to be myself, but I get a weird feeling that it could be you.
Andrew just like kind of like looks at the guy and is like, "What? Me? I'm just a bard. What can I do as a bard?"
He like looks you up and down. Yeah, you're right. It's just a dream. And with that, he turns back around and, what are you messing with over there, Nikolai?
I was just absent-mindedly fooling around with arranging tools and things on the workshop bench as the subject of elves being treated badly was something that he wanted to walk away from and just distract himself for a moment. To
As
the
you
point
look
that he
around-
apparently didn't hear that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I will say that you definitely heard all that. But you could tell he was it was hush-hush. As you kind of look over and start messing with the tools, you notice that your father is not creating any weapons at the moment. He's just making a bunch of horseshoes and nails.
Father, did you know it's free fish day today?
He kind of reaches back from whispering in Andrew's ear and he says, "So I've heard. I haven't had any myself."
I'll have some, as he tossed him a fish. And, what is this? What is this bizarre practice? Merchants handing out goods for free.
The fish just falls to the floor. And he looks down at it. It sounds like a bunch of hoopla to me, son.
I was
This
thinking that
her
kind of
speaking of everyone's duty.
Everyone's obligated duty. The EOD. It's the new business in town. They actually took over Lord Argynvost's church.
Also known as the Empire of Darkness.
I hope not.
My guy had that fortune slip when he said that, and he was just like... To give you an idea, I've run into this kind of person before, and it did not end well, so we need to tread lightly.
They claim to be about everyone's obligated duty, but I call horseshit.
Alright?
Strange happenings around town since I've been gone.
Have you seen any of the seasick yet?
I agree.
Seasick, is that what?
Sacrifice guy?
Yeah. You'll notice
What manner of seasickness swells a man's head?
Offer fish.
I know not. You'll notice a few of the villagers have this.
The swelling kind of gangly bit. Oh, out of character right quick. James, Lacey's hopping on. She's not hopping on the Discord, she's watching the live stream.
Nice.
Where's his daughter, Josh?
Nice. Very nice.
Alright, so what are we looking up right quick?
So, other than that, the AOD stays out of my shop, and I'm not a really religious man, so we haven't come into quarrel yet. But, any of you searching for any kind of wares or anything?
Yes. I'm wondering how much it'll cost to get that made.
As far as costs, you can put down 50 gold, and I can see if I can make it as soon as possible.
I love that. He reaches into his pack and pulls out 50 to hand to him. Like
Do
he
you
can't
have
put
50
empty
gold?
pouch and count it out. I do. I still have some money. Surprisingly, it went through the time tunnel. Yeah, remember we were talking about it?
He will go ahead and grab your bag, and he counts out the golden straws and says,
Okay.
give me about a week or two, and I'll come up with some kind of design. He turns around and grabs down an axe, and he puts it on the table, and he says, I'm kind of thinking some kind of something designed like this, and he grabs the axe and twists the handle, and it elongates out into a halberd. If I can harness this kind of energy
Oh.
into a twisting motion off of your arm, it could expand out into a shield, which is kind of what you were describing earlier.
Hey, that's what I was thinking too. So the way while he's talking, they're kind of like off to the side while those guys are all talking about the fish cult. The way we're thinking about doing this is it's got a spring and a turnstile. I saw your designs for your spring weapons and I just loved it and threw my phone. There we go.
I call them
Not a-
trick weapons.
They are awesome
Indeed.
and very lightweight and easy to carry around.
Andrew just kind of like leans in. Like that.
Okay.
Andrew just kind of like leans in towards the blacksmith guy and is
Spring
like,
helmet.
you know, yeah,
I'm something
he's
gonna
like,
start this
you
myself.
know, those dreams that you've been having. If you think that I should be the one to, you know, I shall do it.
Or maybe you can ask a certain somebody else. I say offhandedly. Because, yeah. When we get to the bar, I'll start doing some fleshing out so it's not so, what the heck is on with this character thing?
And he kind of leans in and puts his back towards Nikolai and looks at you, Andrew, and he goes like this.
Other
Nikolai,
people
he kinda, like,
mysteriously
looked at him
appearing
confused.
from other realms was only among the strange happenings of our journey. The
Hey.
mists have been
Awfully busy.
fooling with all of us.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pardon this strange. I'm sorry. Have you mentioned that you're from the future, or are we? that a
No, I
secret?
have not told anyone
Okay.
that yet. That's why my guy keeps having those slips, because he's like, oh, right. And if you saw in the past live stream, there's only a couple people I'm uncertain of.
I'm afraid this one may have had his mind addled a bit by the mists.
No, it was a giant bird. Shonak just jumps on that chance to kind of going, I had this giant bird just slam into me while stabbing me, fly up and then slam me on the ground. So I might have a concussion.
And as Shaunak is sitting there describing how Ravenson attacked them, we are going to cut away from you guys and cut over to Hendrix.
Yes. What's going
Anybody?
on with Hendrix?
Hendrix, you run all the way through the streets of Stonebridge Hollow, getting all the way down to your parents' house. As you approach, you are from a moderate family. It is a decent 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom house, and the door is shut before you.
I knock.
You hear, Derek, get the damn door! I'm busy! You get it yourself! I'll get it! And then a second later, the door swings open. Who the hell? Oh, son.
Hey, Mom.
What was your mom's name again?
Lucy.
Lucy, it's Hendrix. Hendrix! And then she like pushes you up, pushes your father out of the way, and just gives you just the biggest hug and just squeezes you. Oh, I miss you so much. Love you. And then like, you haven't written to us in months. What's wrong with you?
A lot.
Get your ass inside now. And she pushes you inside the house. The door, your father shuts the door behind you. As you walk into the house, your father just goes over to the living room and sits down, plops himself down on his comfy chair that he always sits at, and pulls out a newspaper and just starts reading. You are in big trouble, young man. When you went off to Krezk, what did I say?
Right.
What did I say? Every month. You haven't written to us since Christmas.
Guard duty's been hectic
Christmas.
and a lot of monsters and
Do you know how many letters I'm missing from Christmas, Hendrix?
a lot.
A lot. What have you got to say for yourself? You lucky I don't right now, Hendrix? Listen to your mother.
I'm not doing anything, Dad.
Yeah.
You're in big trouble, Hendrix. I know you're off trying to get a job, and we were very proud of you. But now you just show up after not writing for months. You're in trouble. Go to your room. I don't even want to look at you right now.
No.
Thus, we lost the guard Hendrix because he's grounded.
Go to your room, Hendrix.
No.
Hendrix, listen to your mother.
Well, if you got your nose out of the paper, maybe I'd actually have someone to have my back. She won't even let me explain myself.
Your father looks over slowly at you. Listen to your mother. You're trying to get us both in trouble?
Honestly, yeah.
Hendrix, we haven't heard from you in a long time. You know how worried we've been?
Yeah. And you know what I've been through?
No, we don't.
Yeah. My friend just died.
Who?
Zane.
He did?
Yes. None of you guys asked how he was doing.
Well, we didn't know, son.
Didn't ask. Instantly yelled at me. Didn't ask how I was doing, how I was feeling, how I am.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's just...
I still want you to go to your room.
I'm not going to my room right now.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I need to get to like the infirmary or something. I'm not doing
The infirmary? What is all this Krezk talk you have gotten? There's no infirmary. Go to your room and get some shut-eye. I'll wake you up for breakfast.
Oh,
Hendrix, listen to your mother.
no.
And he pushes you off into your room and shuts the door.
Fine.
Meanwhile, back at Casimir's Anvil, we see a transaction go down as Shonak buys a design for the shield. Casimir draws up a little design that he was kind of thinking and kind of walks you guys through. Is there anything else you guys would like to do at Casimir's Anvil?
Yeah, I want to see if there's any way, with the gold I have, if there's any way I could pay him to try and increase my armor.
He looks over at you and is absolutely in shock. Increase your armor? I've never heard such a strange request. I could make new armor, but you'd have to hop out of your armor and I could get your dimensions.
That's...
At father.
What do you mean?
You just see my eyes glimmer different colors as I just stare at you. That's going to be difficult. The dimensions must be done as I am, if at all possible.
Hold on a sec. Turn around for me.
Clunk, clunk, clunk. Turned around.
Just as I thought. I made this armor. I shipped it off to Krezk a month or two back.
You made a robot man? Or no. You made an automaton?
It was just an armor. Who bought that? Hey, Armin! Armin! After a moment, you see a tall dusk elf walk from the back of the shop, and as he walks in, he kind of glides in like a cat. His ears are clipped, and he is smudged from a blacksmith work. Yes. And as he walks in, he looks over at you, Nikolai, and just smiles at you and rolls his eyes and looks over at Casimir. Yes, Casimir. Did we not make this armor right here? Yes, Casimir. It's alive. I asked him to take his armor off so I can get his measurements, and he said that's not possible. And looking at him now, I was admiring the exquisiteness of the shapes, and then I recognized the little triangles. This is our design. His eyes kind of widen as he looks over, and as he walks past you, Nikolai, he stands about an inch or two taller than you, just barely, and he side-eyes you as he walks by you, just like the douchiest smile, and he looks over and just kind of inspects Jahaka. He inspects you. It sure is, Casimir. It's very strange. We shipped it to the abbot of Krezk. That's it. That's it.
My eyes flash colors, the golden and orange colors, the moment the word abbot is said.
As your eyes flash a couple of colors, the door opens up, and guess who walks through the door?
Pretty redhead.
Who?
It's Hendrix.
Oh my.
What?
Yeah, G just burst in. Hey, what's up, guys? Just look over.
Nani?
Hot at the meeting with the family? Go.
Horrible. I got
can
hooked and
imagine.
grounded. I snuck out.
Oh,
How
Did you get
old
the
are you?
I'm 15.
Andrew
While
just like
that's
kind of like
going on-
looks at you and is like,
Shaunok is just kind of trying not to look at anyone, and his shoulders are going up and down because it's hilarious.
What were we going to say, Andrew?
Andrew just like kind of like looks at Hendrix and is like, well, whatever you did, you shouldn't have done it.
Oh, I know. Bad me. No, they won't know.
And then he then kind of like just playfully tussles your hair a bit.
Don't ever touch me.
If
I
I need to make an attempt to telepathically connect to my father so I can whisper something to him.
Yep, you do. What do you say?
Father, there are many things we haven't told you about our journey. I worry Armin might... Something terrible has happened.
You get a response to where he turns towards you and makes dead eye contact with you. How long have you been able to do this?
So I avert my eyes. Month or two. I've been experiencing these dreams that empowered me. We must speak of this. But I wish we could speak aloud, but with Armin here, I worry he may not be trustworthy after what I've seen.
His eyes kind of dash between kind of all of you as he goes back to inspecting Jahaka to try to not look so suspicious. And he responds back to you. Conspicuous, thank you. And he looks back to you and says,
Welcome.
I know you and Armin don't get along, but he's a good helper. He's helped me out a lot. And you should really come to terms together.
It's more than that, Father. I think he killed his wife.
At that, he stops and stands up and turns around. Excuse me, gentlemen. I need to speak to my son in private. Nikolai, will you please follow me to the back?
They just march.
Yep.
Whole time we're just
Armin, will you offer them any kind of drinks or anything to help? And don't forget that we have light crossbows for sale, on sale, specifically for only 10 gold. And, don't forget about the daggers. And he goes, yes, Casimir. And as you guys, he pulls back the curtain and turns back to you. And you guys are now in, like, your house proper. And you guys are standing in, like, the kitchen. What are you talking about, son?
We came across Armin's homestead in our travels along the Svalich Road, and it had been ransacked. Concerned for his health, we inspected the building and found his poor wife. It appears she had been drained dry by a vampire.
Vampire? Nikolai, this isn't one of your stories. This is real
saw
life.
the bite marks myself, Father.
This isn't a game you sit around and play at a table with your friends. Vampires haven't existed in Barovia for years.
I know what I saw.
Nikolai, enough! This isn't one of your stories. That accusation you're making is real. You could damage his whole career. Do you understand that?
Understand that a woman is dead, Father. There was a creature as fast as darkness. I didn't get a good look, but I think we have to tell him and see how he reacts.
He looks you up and down. And you're not lying.
There's more, Father.
What?
I've been visited by an entity that calls itself the Lord of Dreams and Nightmares. It claims to have awoken these abilities in me. Not just speaking as we are, but I whispered a word and a woman died. The bandit foolishly tried to rob our caravan. Killed with a word. I don't know I don't understand, Father. I don't know. At this point, he's starting to get really emotional. Like, we're sitting here speaking telepathically, but you can tell that. I imagine we're sitting here speaking telepathically, but since we're away from each other, we're still sitting here doing full body language.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing too. And at this moment, go ahead.
You can tell that that Nikolai is getting a little emotional here, where he's like, "I don't understand these powers. I don't understand what this creature wants from me.
Son.
I have so many questions."
He suddenly looks at you in horror and turns around and rips a rag and hands it to you. Wipe your nose. And your nose is bleeding.
Oh, okay. Serious.
And
Sorry, Father.
He's like, I haven't heard of such abilities since your aunt, Petrina.
The entity, this Lord of Dreams, mentioned her as well. Said that through it, I could save her. She yet lives.
I wonder if this entity has been visiting me as well. I've been having dreams of her, and I've been sheltering it long enough from you. Your aunt, Petrina Velikov, my sister, my beloved sister. She fell into the wrong crowd. She fell in love with Strahd. Strahd loved her. And do you remember Rahadin, the traitor? I would say you would.
Stories.
Yes. Rahadin was my right-hand man. He betrayed us to work with Strahd von Zarovich, and when we tried to save my sister, in the middle of the night, Rahadin came and killed all of the women of the elven tribes. Every single one of them. And not only that, him and Strahd snipped all of the remainder elves' ears, demoralizing us even further, putting us into the ground, proving that he is the Lord. He took Petrina, but I couldn't have it. Strahd only knows what he would have done to her, but I did whatever any other brother would have done. And I killed her. Right then and there. Strahd was pissed.
Did you?
He was so angry. His face turned demonic. He didn't just grab at your aunt. He ripped inside of her, grabbed her soul, and ran off with it to the castle. My actions from those days have haunted me ever since. And that's why I haven't told you, because I'm ashamed. But it was the right thing to do in the moment, I thought.
Could you? How could that be the right thing to do? Kill your own sister?
You weren't alive when Strahd was Lord, Nikolai. He was a tyrant. I couldn't imagine what he would have done with her. What he would have done to us. What he did to us pales in comparison what he would have done had he had our elf blood as a wife. You must understand.
Must be the decisions you make as ruler, then.
Sometimes a ruler's got to make the better ruling for his people than for one member.
I shall try to keep this in mind, sir. Looks deeply upset with this, obviously. Trying to process this.
Casimir reaches out and grabs your shoulders and looks at you dead in the eyes, and you can see his eyes water. His lip quivers, and he just gives you a hug. And that is the end of our session.
Beautiful.
Heavy.